welcome to my channel. It's your girl Sheena, aka She Knows. I'm here for my part 2 of how did he know I was the one. And as promised, I got him on here so he could give you some, I guess, a few things he thought, I guess, that told him that I was the one. So
she had to work to get me on here, by the way. I'm not the camera person at all.
Yeah, he's definitely an in-person person.
Yep, she said that correct.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I'm Rush, by the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce him.
Yeah, she didn't introduce him. Right. But
my
yeah.
partner in crime.
Indeed. But my 10 reasons on how I knew Sheena was the one for me. I guess I'll just jump straight into it. Number 1, I guess I didn't quite have this in my previous relationships, and it's something that I knew I needed in my future relationship. God, that was a big deal for me because just being with people who is not like-minded in that area is kind of tough to go off and try to go to church and even just, pray on things when your partner isn't doing it as well. So the fact that she's God-fearing and that's something that she wanted to make sure was in the relationship, that was key for me, and I agreed.
Right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, like no hesitation. She let it be known that this is what we're doing. She had me. Well, she mentioned the book, The Wait, and I read it by myself, and it's because I was really feeling her.
On his own.
I read it on my own. Yeah, like the fact that we can pray together, the fact that she just really wants to make sure that we raise a family with God in it as well. That was very important to me. So. Oh,
and we're also dressed up because we came from church. So
yeah.
He got the preppy look going on.
Yeah, today I do, at least.
Yeah.
Number 2, she really likes her little healthy lifestyle, and I'm not really like that,
Little.
I like to snack. Okay, it's not little. She just really likes health and fitness. That's just something that she's really into. So for me, my unhealthiness, I would sit down on the couch, binge watch Netflix, and eat a big bag of Doritos. Like, I'm not talking about a little, I'm talking about.
Yeah. He goes through them in like
a day.
Thanos.
Stupid. Go watch that movie. It was good, by the way. Endgame, yeah.
It's not sponsored.
One of her goals is to make sure I stay alive forever. I love that goal.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, I know. So that was definitely something else, and don't get me wrong, her being fit, she looked good, you know what I'm saying? Like
thank you.
That track body, you know what I mean? Number 3, so we got like a lot of different signs, a lot of different things that happened as we were talking, and she mentioned some of these things, in her video as well. So I'll just jump straight into it. Like, one of it is her birthday. It's the same exact day as my mother's birthday, which blew my mind. I asked her where her birthday was, and she said August 25th.
And I thought he was lying when he said his mother.
Oh, before she thought I was lying, I thought she was lying. I was like, look at you doing your research. Our favorite drink is whiskey sour.
Yes.
Our favorite meal. It's just little things that
brown stew.
Brown stew, rice and peas. There's little things that match up that I just never thought would ever match up. And then she loves Jamaican men.
I love Jamaica.
Which means she's gonna love Jamaican men.
Alright, I do love Jamaican.
She got her Jamaican men. The next thing is communication for us. Well, first of all, we started off with a long distance relationship, so communication was very important for us because that's all we could do.
Yeah, for us.
All we could do was just talk, FaceTime, so the fact that we were put in a position where to work any issues out or anything that we had, communication was definitely key for us, and we had to do it, and we grew a lot through communicating. And she was just always transparent with me. Well, not always, but she
What you mean not always?
She kept it real with me. You kind of you had to open up a bit, you
Uh,
know. But she did keep it real with me, you know. When it came to certain situations, she just let me know certain things, and you know, like for me to see that coming from her, and she was so far away, you know, it made me feel as if okay, she cares enough to let me know certain things. So we just had that communication was definitely a big part of you know me knowing she was the one. Because if I can't communicate with you, it's dead. It's a done deal. It's no point. I guess being able to work things out together, like that's something that I definitely did like. Just you know, you're gonna have a bunch of issues in your relationship. I mean, that's just relationships, period.
no one is perfect.
No one's perfect, and your partner's not gonna be perfect as well. So you have to be able to work things out. And if it's very difficult to work it out with your partner, then you know life is going to be difficult. 6 will be so the family aspect of things. Well, first of all, you know, like my little sister loved her instantly because she knew of her as a track star and everything, and you know, like that was a plus. But not just that, when she actually met my family, they loved her. You know, it was easy for her to gel with them. I really want to say she just fit in, you know, to the point where she was just an extension right now, you know. And for me, that's a big deal because I love my family, and you know, I just even her family, they accepted me, and I feel as if I'm now just like a extension of the family, like I'm here, you know. 7. I guess this kind of stems off of what I was just talking about, but it's not just my family that loves Sheena. It's everybody that meets Sheena that loves Sheena.
Please, everybody loves a rush.
Well, I guess that's just something we have in common. People just love us, and that's a blessing. Honestly, all my friends, they meet her, just like, oh, she's great. Like, yeah, I really like that. I like that one. You know, I got a lot of those, and next thing I know, friends are trying to talk to her, like bypassing me, just trying to talk straight to her, and I'm like, oh, okay.
That happens to me all the time with him.
Okay, hitting you up on a direct line, like. So for me, that inclusion is really beneficial. You know, it just makes life a lot easier. The remaining 3 is more about myself, and I know the topic is how did I know Sheena was the one, but I do feel as if when you find the one, everything is not strictly about that person. I do feel as if there's a lot about yourself that has to do with you finding the one. You know, just being ready for that to enter your life is a big thing because, you know, if you're not ready for that relationship, that commitment, then you may lose out on a great opportunity with the perfect person for you, you know? So number 8 for me is the fact that I could be myself, you know, like that's hard. I can't just be myself around everybody, you know, because, you know, I'm a little different, you know, I don't know, how do I explain it?
I am too, but he is.
I'm a little different. I'm like a nerd, but outside of being a nerd, I'm goofy. I'm cool too, don't get it twisted, you know what I mean? So, but I have a goofy side to myself where I'm just all over the place sometimes, and you know, I play music, I do all these things. So she mentioned it, I could be annoying because I will tap, I will sing, I will fail at rapping, but I will do it. But just being able to be myself around her and not having to put up a front, try to be somebody else so that she can like me and all of that foolishness was just key for me because, you know, if I'm gonna be with you for a lifetime, I need to be myself. 9, I guess like once I started realizing how much I really felt I was feeling this girl, my language kind of changed. Like my perception on things changed. My visions changed, you know. I think for me it was a lot of, you know, me, I, and my future wife, this, you know, whoever she may be, etc., you know. But with her, easily, I was just like, yeah, we gonna be doing this, you know, we gonna have this, you know, we need to do this, you know, like.
He started asking me my opinion about when he was What?
Buying,
House or-
yeah,
buying a
I'm
house?
buying my house.
I'm like, why he acting?
I'm getting her opinion on it because in my head, I'm like, you gonna be living here. Like,
I'm like, you better get what you want. You paying for it.
Very true, but I mean, I like to think future a lot.
And I love that because you always included me in everything. You was just like, instead of it was always us. And I was just like, ooh, okay.
And that was different for me. I want to say in my prior relationships, it's always been I and my future. You know, if you happen to be that person, you know, that's how I would speak. And it was probably rude, but hey, I was being real. I just knew.
I mean, I was just I
just
like
knew.
Selfish.
Yeah, I was selfish. So a part of, like, I'm still a little selfish. Don't get me wrong, because I'm an individual. But I feel like a lot of my selfish ways had to get kicked to the side because I saw someone that I could spend the rest of my life with. So feeling that way, things moved from I to us, and you know, we. And for me, that was a big deal because that means I was in a place to accept the fact that there could be a us and there could be a we. And the final thing is just the willingness to make our situation work. You know, and I know that's kind of broad, but like I mentioned before, we were in a long distance relationship. That was a big no for me. If you weren't here, I didn't want to do it because I've tried long distance and it didn't work, so it left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was just like, I'm not with it, you know.
And me, on the other hand, I feel like all my relationships were long distance, so I was used to it.
She was comfortable.
Yeah, I was comfortable.
Not. You know, like we had her when we first started off. Like she can talk on the phone forever, and she was cool with it. For me, I don't like the phone. So I don't really like to talk that much on the phone. I don't even really like to text, to be real with you. I just don't like that device.
And that was definitely a learning experience because I got so used to being on the phone that when we got in person, it was just like a whole...
It was different.
It was different.
Because that's my element.
Yeah, that was not my element. I'm like, hold on.
I could do the in-person thing all day. Mm-hmm. You know, and for her, she was more reserved. And I was confused because I was like, yo, you can call me and talk to me for 4 hours, but you sit down next to me and won't say a word to me?
I talked to him, but...
Like, how'd that work?
I was not quiet. He's exaggerating.
Just a tad bit, but like, yeah.
Do you have any bonus things you want to add outside of the 10?
Bonus things.
That after you got with me and you had me, what... some of the qualities that you was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, so she could whip up a meal, boy. She could whip up a meal. Like you probably heard a little South in that a while ago, but like she be killing in the kitchen, and I didn't expect that, to be real with you. But she's like, oh, I'm gonna try something new today, and I'm like, cool with it.
Underestimated me.
I'm like, yeah, go ahead, try something new because you've been hitting it on the head, like. So that's definitely.
I took his powers away from the kitchen.
Oh yeah, as soon as she came down here, I just forgot how to cook, and I still don't remember how to cook, which is cool with me. I'm getting back to it a little bit, but yeah, the fact that she motivates me. You know, I have moments where I'm kind of like all over the place. You know, I think I do a good job at doing what I need to do, but I can have my moments where I get a little anxious and I kind of freak out about things, and she just calms me down, and that's definitely a bonus. Even for my new position, I freaked out before I even applied for the job, I'll be real. And she was just like, why are you freaking out? Like, apply for the job and see if you get it. And, you know,
what happened?
Yeah, I got it. You know, it was a blessing. But, you know, like, just to be able to have someone there that actually is rooting for me and will push me to do these things, like that's a great bonus, you know.
In the very beginning, when you told like one of your siblings, I think your sister, you said she's the one. This is my wife. What made you? What was that initial? Because that was in the very beginning.
It was in the very beginning.
Like the first what?
No, that was early. That
like
was before we started.
Month?
I want to say that's before we actually started dating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been. That might have been a good.
Relationship.
Yeah. That might have been a good month in.
So what made you think?
So what that was definitely this list that I'm putting together is that confirmation. So that list that I just told you guys is definitely the confirmation of what I already felt. The reason I felt that way early on was, well, first of all, things were just way too natural. Like, it was kind of scary how natural things were for us, especially since I'm not a person that likes to be on the phone a lot. So for us to have that natural everything, the way we talked, the way everything was just flowing.
It felt like it was too good to be true.
It felt too good to be true for sure. Like, I was blown away by how comfortable I felt with her. But then on top of that, I know, like, I was in a different place personally. I want to say I did a lot of growing up, you know, due to prior situations and whatnot. And like, I got to go back to God. I prayed on it. I legit got on my knees and I prayed multiple times.
Oh yes, and he prayed for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I did.
He got a flashback.
Yeah, I did. And I legit went in my closet and closed the closet door and prayed for her. Like, come on. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that where...
And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, this is different.
This is different. He might be the one. Like, because I never had that in my life. I never had...
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done that for anyone else.
Yeah. So that was different for both of us. But it was definitely something I said I wanted in my next relationship. I'm like, if God is not in it, I don't want nothing to do with it anymore. I wasted, I didn't waste years because I definitely learned. Yeah. And of course you have great memories with like past relationships and things like that, and you grow. Like basically whatever you go through in your past makes who you are today. Mm-hmm. So I have no regrets in my past, like
same here.
Anything. So this situation just worked out in itself where we just knew what we wanted, and it just all came together. At first it was like he said, it was a little scary because it was like, whoa, this is a little easy, but you know what?
A little too easy for my liking. But but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I feel like society makes us think that everything always has to be hard, or you have to go through some trials. You have to like break up. You gotta do this and that. You gotta like.
She a ride or die because I cheated on her 5 times.
Exactly, like something crazy. Like these situations, like no. If you got God in it, and that's your.
That's the cornerstone.
That's the cornerstone. That's your foundation. It shouldn't be difficult. Of course, you're going to go through your trials and things like that. No one is perfect. But it still can be very beautiful. You don't got to fall for, because this person is not, trying to be with you, or not trying to...
They playing with you.
They playing, they don't want, like, a status and all this other things. They try not to be committed. Like, that's all games. They just trying to... string you along and things like that. But when a man knows, he knows, and he's not gonna play games.
And ladies,
he is not gonna play games.
There was no games played here.
Really, that's why it was so scary, because I wasn't used to that.
I mean, I wasn't.
I would say only one of my relationships I felt that way, but I was like very young and immature at the time that I just was not ready for all that. And like I said, what you said earlier. It's just timing, and having to go.
Very important. Because you have to be ready to step into that situation. Like
because with our past relationships, the people we've been with, they could be perfect, the perfect partners for someone else. Yeah. But because of the time that we were together, it just didn't work out because either I wasn't mature enough, or he wasn't mature enough, or they weren't mature enough, things like that. Like, we weren't aligned. So it's not saying, because our past relationships didn't work out, these people aren't. No, they could be.
It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it has nothing. And I feel as though they definitely have the potential to be perfect partners for someone else.
Yeah, I think I've been with great people, but like she said, that person just wasn't for me, and it's real. That's just how it is. they not for you, they not for you. But hold on, to go back to the whole praying thing, what I actually prayed for, I actually wanted to share that. I prayed that if she wasn't for me, end it now. Like straight up. I was like, I don't want to get into talking to this girl. I don't want to entertain nothing. I don't want to be a part of any form of situation. So I wasn't about no situation shit. I wasn't about no, oh, well, you know, we can just get up or no. If she wasn't for me, I needed that to be.
And that prayer is very important because I prayed that too. Like, if you're in a situation that you feel as though, like, you have to, like, try to figure out or you feel confusion all the time, honestly, like, pray on it, give it to God because He will give you the answer. Do not be afraid to, like, let God in your love life. I was afraid, and I let Him, you know, throughout my career, throughout my school, my education, everything else except for my love life. And I'm just like, why did I do that? What was I afraid of? Like, why wouldn't I want, you know, a spouse that, you know, God approves of, or, you know, someone who loves God as much as me or more, like, you know, for us to build that relationship? Like, why did I always, like, push that aside? And it's just like, no, God already knows everything that you have been through. There's nothing you can't tell Him that He hasn't heard. So for you to feel embarrassed of your past or any situation that you've been in, leave it to God, lay it out, and ask, like, God, if this person is not for me, make that clear. Please show me a sign. Sometimes, you know, I might not listen the first time, but Lord, you know what sign you need to give me.
That's exactly why I made the prayer, though.
And I remember I prayed that prayer for, like, a past relationship, and boy, did I get a hardcore sign. It was just like, Sheena, you know you can't ignore this one. Like, you even asked for it. So it's just like things like that. Just make sure, you know, you have God in whatever relationship you're in or questioning, because He will reveal if you should move forward with this person or not.
Indeed. I got those signs and I ignored them in the past, but I never asked for them in the past. He always showed it to me. Never asked for them. I ignored them because I didn't want to listen. I was like, man, whatever. I'm 21, like, whatever, like.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted those signs. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting my time, because I can tell from just our conversations in the very beginning how natural things were. Like, I can tell that this could potentially get somewhere.
And he was persistent.
I was pretty persistent, for sure.
Because I wasn't easy in the very beginning. Yeah.
But that also goes back to my number 10, you know, my willingness to make things work. You know, the reason that I was willing to make things work is because I got confirmation. And with that confirmation, it allowed me to, I don't know, it matured me a little bit in a way where I saw conflict differently. I didn't see a conflict as a way to escape. Not, oh, you know what, well, I don't need to be here because of X, Y, and Z. That's not the way I was looking at it anymore. It was more of, okay, this is just a conflict that we got to get over. We got to resolve this and move forward because you're not going anywhere, you know? And that outlook really changes you.
And I would definitely say a big part of us being together was just our thing of being a team.
Yeah, it's a huge part.
Yeah, so it's just like, we know we aren't perfect, but we definitely have some great aspects of us both, and we felt like by putting it together, like, we could be powerful. We could be that power couple, our own, you know, couples goals. Like, you don't have to look at other, you know, people relationships. You can admire them, but you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, and that is like the God's honest truth. And, you know, I just think that, you know, you should just focus on your relationship and, you know, be happy for other people who are in loving relationships, but just know, like, it's not always perfect. But the thing is, when you have God as your foundation, like, you're gonna want to, you know, do everything for that person to make it better. You're not gonna want to give up or, you know, have your selfish ways of, like, I'm done with this and things like that. Like, you're gonna actually work on it and, like, listen, and come to each other and approach each other and, like, listen, all right, help me understand, why are you feeling this way? So.
And that is so important, guys. That is so important. You don't understand, like, that's just, if you're talking about being with someone forever, you better make sure you have a checklist that works, because forever is a long time.
Yeah, and people change every day. So imagine being married to someone and a person, just anyone, just remember when you were like your early 20s or whatever, like the person you are today, completely different. So imagine being with someone married to this person. Like, you have to constantly learn each other all the time, because we're constantly changing. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So that's just our take on it and a little peek into our relationship. Indeed. And he put that ring on it, so I don't have my nails done, but y'all see this ring. He did a great job. Look. He did a very great job. So happy. Mm-hmm. That proposal was everything. I'm also going to put a link to that proposal too. I have to put that up. But yeah, he blew me away. Shout out to the family for allowing me to do that. Yeah. For sure. So appreciate y'all checking this out. Thank y'all for watching, tuning in. If y'all have any more like suggestions as far as what videos, what couple things you might like to see in the future, I'm going to try to get him a little more on camera, because he's awesome in person. I wish you guys could, see this personality, through the video. Hopefully you can get a little glimpse of it. But if you have any video ideas or any like questions or things you want us to do, just leave them in my inbox and like and subscribe. Of course, yes, he got it. Comment. Thank you. Share. And come back. Yes, of course. Nice. How'd it go? Find somebody who gonna treat you right. Check out her video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Whatever. Alright. My last couple. This is part 2, I guess, of my part 1. Okay. Okay.